What is up, Edison duelists? This is Dionysus, aka Young Puds, coming at you guys with some more shameless hype beast Gigavise content. Folks, I don't know if you heard, this is kind of the talk of not just the town, but the world. There is a new pope, and I thought, what better way to celebrate a new pope? I'm not Catholic or anything, but hey, you know, it's still a big deal, than by trying out this card here, Messenger of Peace, here in our Gigavise deck. So I actually think there could be some merit to it. It's functionally going to accomplish the same thing that Threatening Roar would, because at the very least, if we activate it, we can always just turn it off on our next standby phase, right? By just choosing to not pay the cost. So that's not a big deal, but it also could be better than Threatening Roar because it's going to last longer. I'm also pretty okay with it eating an MST or something like that, because MST is something that can interrupt our combo. So the idea with Messenger of Peace is if we draw it with combo, it's still pretty good because it's going to insulate us against Colossal Fighter, against Goyo Guardian, against, you know, these things that are, you know, the battle phase is usually pretty instrumental in removing our field. So I think it's going to make our board a little bit stickier, and then if we don't have combo, we can just kind of sit under Messenger of Peace while we draw a lot of cards. I have a big history with this card. I actually topped a regional with Constellar in Baby Ruler format, and I was siding Messenger of Peace against Dragon Rulers. The idea was that I could sit under Messenger of Peace. They didn't usually want to, you know, do something like use Blaster's effect to destroy it, because that's just that's a really big commitment, right? So I would then just kind of be able to collect resources until I could perform the Shark Fortress OTK against Dragon Rulers. So I think that same kind of concept where we can just sit on Messenger of Peace until we draw full combo, I think that actually seems really good and has a lot of potential. So I've been testing it out, and I have two matches here against relatively tough matchups. First up, we are going to face off against Gladiator Beasts. I know you guys really love seeing Glads. It's always really exciting gameplay. Here we're going to do a pretty cool line. We've drawn both Lone Fires. So we're going to go Lone Fire, Tribute the Dandelion to get out Titanial. And then we're going to end on 2 tokens, another Lone Fire that hopefully we can use next turn because we're protecting it with Mirror Force. And then we've also got Titanial in the mix. So seems pretty good to me. Let's see how this works out. Our opponent is going to draw Test Tiger, but Titanial is going to shut that down. So we've opened very strong into that. He's going to try and ready Ari over our Lone Fire. We're going to Mirror Force that. We can't have him, starting to resolve Gladiator Beast effects or anything like that. He's going to set a bunch of cards. I'm pretty scared of that, but drawing Miracle Fertilizer means we have a lot of follow-up. So I'm willing to go ahead and commit the Gigaplant here. Fortunately for us, it seems like he does not have a Torrential. He's going to try and Book of Moon it, but we are going to go ahead and Titanial negate that. That has me feeling pretty good. I'm not really sure why we would just waste a Book of Moon, but I feel like, you know, that's kind of a desperation type play. So I'm not too worried about Torrential or anything like that. So I do go ahead and commit my other Lone Fire Blossom to get Copy Plant, the second Copy Plant, out from the deck, and we will copy Gigaplant's level and make a Power Tool Dragon. Power Tool Dragon is going to, of course, get us the guaranteed Supervise here. And then we are going to pick up that Supervise, equip it to the Gigaplant, bring back Lone Fire Blossom, summon out Nettles, and Synchro for Stardust Dragon. We are representing game damage on board, and I think he could have lived another turn with the Mirror Force, but he decided that he was probably lost anyways. I think that makes sense. We were in a pretty good spot. It's very hard for Glads to break a board like that. Here, he is going to establish himself firmly as a terrorist and an enemy of sentient life everywhere by citing in this card here, Anti-Spell Fragrance. He's going to go ahead and activate it. I'm just going to set the Mirror Force and set the Heavy Storm. I know this loses. If he has a Bestiary, he can summon Gazaris right away and we just lose. But it's kind of the only way forward for us. So we're going to pass it off, and he does in fact have the Bestiary, so he's going to set it, and as soon as I see that it's set, I know that things are pretty much over. He shows that it is a Bestiary. I know it's coming. I'm going to lose my Heavy. I'm going to lose my Mirror Force. We have to play under Anti-Spell Fragrance with insufficient outs, so that is going to be GG. You know, these Glad games, they usually go pretty quick like this, but let's get into Game 3. And as I'm sure you guys have seen, and you could predict, I did draw the Messenger of Peace. So let's see how that does for us. Our opponent has a nice hand with, Test Tiger, Rescue Cat. It's pretty good. We are in a much better position, though. We have Furt and Hidden Armory for follow-up. We have Supervise, and we do have the Messenger of Peace as well. So against Glads, I'm kind of thinking, all right, well, what could Glads really put out that's going to be a threat? And I'm thinking that in this case, it's going to be better to hold the Messenger of Peace rather than commit it to the board. I'd be happy to just be able to swing and not have to worry about it next turn. But if on the off chance he does put up some sort of, he breaks my board, putting up Messenger of Peace could maybe stop him from getting to Heraklinos or something like that. So that's why I decided to hold off. He's just going to set both of his chariots and put a Laquari on the field. Makes sense to me. We'll pick up a Super Solar Nutrient for turn. That's no good. We'll activate Gigaplant. He'll use one of his chairs. Supervise will bring back the Gigaplant. We'll get to try again. We'll hit an armory for Supervise and equip that back to our Gigaplant. Try and use its effect again. And he is going to use Chair. I know the Gigaplant hasn't moved, but I can use the effect again because it was destroyed and then summoned back. I was just kind of being a little time saver there by putting the Supervise on. So after both of the Supervise attempts fall flat, that's okay. We have Fertilizer, so we'll bring out a second Gigaplant just to have a little bit stronger of a board. Push in for some big damage, have something else to negate with Titanial. So now we have up to 3 negates, so we can stop a lot of targeting effects. We're going to activate Messenger of Peace here and now, just as a little bit of extra security. I can always turn it off if I want to push for game. That is no big deal. He's going to MST, the Messenger of Peace. And I do decide to go ahead and negate that. I figure, if you want it off the field, he's probably got something cooking, and we can afford to negate it. We're in a fine position. He's going to go ahead and summon out the Rescue Cat, bring out 2 Sam Knights. Not really sure what the plan is, but it comes clear when he special summons that Test Tiger from hand. And this, I am going to go ahead and tribute Titanial to negate the Test Tiger, and that is going to be GG. Well played. So Messenger of Peace, let's be honest, folks, didn't do a ton here, but I think the concept is sound. Let's take a look at this other match that I played. This one is against Lightsworns, and yeah, this seems pretty good. So we'll start things off very strong with a little SSN Tribute Nettles into Lonefire action. And we do have our Supervise already, so we'll go Lonefire for Lonefire into Gigaplant, summon the Supervise, and bring back Lonefire to go into Titanial. I'm going to Gold Sark here for Giant Trunade, and I will activate the Messenger of Peace. I don't know what I'm up against, so this just seems like a really safe way to just kind of sit on everything. If he doesn't commit a bunch of back row, I could, go a little wider, and then once I get the Trunade, use that to turn off the Messenger of Peace, and then still have it in my hand. Seems pretty good to me. So, entering this kind of checkmate position, I'm feeling great. He's going to go ahead and try and Lila the Supervise. We are going to tribute Titanial to negate it. I feel like, especially with Messenger of Peace up and having already used his normal summon, I don't think there's too many other targeting effects that I'm worried about. Like Brain Control. If he wants to Brain Con and take my Gigaplant and just pass it right back, that's fine. You already used your normal summon, you're not going to tribute it. No Plague and Grave, it's too early. So we pick up a Miracle Fertilizer for turn, which is a really fantastic draw. We'll go ahead and use Gigaplant's effect to bring back Lonefire. Lonefire's effect is going to trigger, and we are going to bring out Gigaplant, and then we'll normal summon that Gigaplant to bring back our Titanial. And then I forget that I'm under Messenger of Peace, and I try and swing. Our opponent corrects us, and I apologize profusely, and we go into our opponent's turn. He's going to top deck a Pot of Avarice, which is absolutely no help. So he'll put a Jane on the field, maybe get some mills going. No help there. Meanwhile, we're getting our Trunade to hand, and we are picking up a Super Solar Nutrient for turn. So really, we're not going to need much of this. He doesn't have Honest or anything. It's just a matter now of us figuring out how we're going to choose to play around Honest. The line that I'm thinking I'm going to take here, I'm going to summon Gigaplant, or use Gigaplant's effect to summon Nettles and Lonefire to make a Catastor, and I can Miracle Fertilizer for another Synchro as well. So that was the plan there. No Gores for him, so he'll he was just drawing top decks until he found the Gores there. See how far away. He didn't actually have that in his hand, folks. So let's go ahead and proceed to game number 2 versus Lightsworns. We'll slide in. We're facing off against not one, but 2 Mask of Restricts. That's pretty annoying. I'm not going to lie to you guys. So there goes 1 Mask of Restrict and a Ryko face down. Seems pretty good. He's going to pass it off to us. And I actually haven't seen what his back row or what was in his hand for this. I haven't watched this match yet. So this is going to be interesting. He's going to flip up the Mask of Restrict right away. So we probably wouldn't be immediately super solaring the copy plant, but that's no longer an option. So we're just going to pass. He's going to find an Imperial Iron Wall. Okay, so a lot of hateful floodgates going in, but those are definitely conflicting with the Gores in his hand. So we'll pick up a Supervise for turn. Again, we still don't have anything. We can at least be representing Gores, maybe scare them off a little bit. So we'll just discard the Gigaplant for turn. He's going to pick up a Pot of Avarice and then just cautiously poke in for 600, test for Gores a little bit, sees that we don't have it. I'm going to pick up a Dandelion for turn. That seems really good because it's going to go with the Lightning Vortex to trigger the Super Solar Nutrient, so I can feel safe setting the copy plant. Maybe just absorb a little bit of damage, maybe bait something out. He picks up another Imperial Iron Wall, which is not super great for him. Meanwhile, he's going to Ryko to destroy the copy plant. I'm happy to have Ryko taken care of. And we are also totally comfortable taking just 800 points of damage. That is not a big deal at all. Graveyard's looking very healthy. That JD in his hand is live. I think just kind of waiting to commit it. Makes sense to me. We do pick up an MST here, and I could start to combo, but I feel as though the Lightning Vortex into just Ryko and Necrogarna is just, you know, kind of low value. And I'm concerned about this other Imperial Iron Wall, so I decide let's just risk it a little bit. Let's get a maybe, you know, see if we can last for one more turn. He's going to drop the JD, makes sense there, and push in for some big damage. I think he's assuming that this is just a bluff, or we're setting to not lose to hand size. And he's also not too worried about Gores now that I have this assumed bluff face down. So he punches in for a bunch of damage. We're down to 2800. He'll mill again with JD and then pass it off to us. So we pick up a Titanial for turn. Not particularly useful, but we kind of already have the nuts. We are in possession of the stones. You know what I mean? We are in a great spot. So we'll Lightning Vortex, discarding the Dandelion. We'll get our 2 tokens out. Not 1, but 2 tokens. Here those come. And then we will use MST on the Mask of Restrict, and at this point, you know, we're low enough on life points. You know, we kind of have to just play into that second back row, and fortunately, it is just an Imperial Iron Wall, so no big problem there. He also chose not to set the Mirror Force. I guess he was thinking that, you know, if he had to use JD's effect, he didn't want to lose the Mirror Force. You know, if he had to use JD on the next turn, he could just replace the 2 floodgates and add a Mirror Force as well. So I think that's what his plan was. Makes sense, but we've got a pretty good plan ourselves. We're going to Gigaplant, bring out Lone Fire Blossom, and we'll go directly into Stardust Dragon here. Stardust Dragon is going to keep us safe from any potential Mirror Forces or Torrentials. You know, once you have a Stardust up, you can really combo a lot more safely. If you get to the Stardust, you know, if they had like a Compulse or a Book of Moon, they probably would have used that on the Supervise. So again, I am feeling pretty great right now. We're going to normal summon the Gigaplant. Our opponent briefly questions if we had already normal summoned, and of course we did not. We started everything with a little bit of Dandelion token action and SSN. Always feels good to be able to do that. And then we're going to start swinging in for damage. We'll hit with Gigaplant, we'll hit with Stardust, and then we are going to try and hit with Titanial, and no surprise there, our opponent's going to Necrogarna on that one. So he'll draw for turn. He picks up a Wolf, which is just about the worst thing you could draw. He'll Pot of Avarice, though, so he definitely has a chance to find his way back into this game. He's going to draw up to 7 cards in his hand, and he still has 4 names in graveyard. He got to put back the 1 JD, so we definitely could be in trouble, but not if he's drawing like that. Another Torrential, another Pot of Avarice. Now with only 4 monsters in graveyard, that is not going to be enough. So he is going to just set some more cards, and hopefully, you know, maybe that'll carry him. I guess he's thinking he's got the the torrential set. He's got the mirror force set. You know, very, very easily we could try and extend with Gigaplant. He forces out the Stardust Negate, and then, you know, mirror force gets us. But we are not going to take those kind of risks. I'm just going to swing first. You know, we have defense against all the battle traps, and unfortunately, very sad that next card was JD, but I think we had pretty good comeback potential here with Fertilizer and Hidden Armory. So GG, well played to our opponent. That was a very nice match. You know, why didn't he... I'm only seeing this now. He should have set the Mask of Restrict. You set the Mask of Restrict there, and then you activate it, and now Stardust can't negate Mirror Force. Or Torrential. Yeah. I mean, you activate it right away, and then I would say, oh, well, geez, now I have to try and play around your back row, and I go Gigaplant to summon Nettles, and then you can Torrential, and I lose everything because I can't Stardust. He probably forgot that Mask of Restrict stops that. That's unfortunate, dude. I'm sure we would have won Game 3, probably with Messenger of Peace, but that definitely feels bad. You don't like to see that. Well, I gotta say, folks, that was pretty quick. We got through our little demo games pretty fast. So let's go ahead and jump in to a little bit of a live duel, a live match. We'll just hop on ladder, and I'll take the AD off. See the chat. Who are we up against today? We did win the die roll. This is Raska Butches with a very ominous 666 rating. We're chilling at 864 at this time. All right, so that's a pretty mid opening hand. How have you guys been doing this week? I've had a really, really busy week with work. My mom is in town visiting. That's really nice to see her. My aunt's in town visiting as well. It's nice for them, you know, to see the baby, get some time with their granddaughter and or grandniece. So that's super cool, and it's nice to see her. But I've been really, really busy, you guys. I've been super, super busy. And but you know, it's good to be busy. The weather's nice, the blue skies. I think we might well, I'm not really sure. We'll probably go out, get some food this afternoon. That'll be fun. It's Friday, right? Do you guys have big plans for the weekend? I'm hoping that maybe I can sneak in a little bit of a hike this weekend. Maybe even take my daughter on her first hike. So we're playing against Frogs. He's gone for a soft lock. We could set the Book of Moon, and that would be sufficient to not die, probably. But then he could also just go Unifrog, right? Let's set the Copy Plant. I feel like he doesn't have like a super gas hand, right? No, you know, he would have done some super gas to Ryza. That's terrible. Not attacking. Bro is not attacking. All right. We'll set the Book of Moon now. So it's Ryza, it's Frog Monarchs. I've been seeing this deck kind of circling back around. It's very good, actually. I think this kind of Frog deck has a better matchup against Gigavise than some others. Ryza into defense? Wow. Well, we'll book your Unifrog. Why not? Okay. Titanial is a terrible draw. It's actually, I lied. It's not so bad because we have Fertilizer in hand. That's okay. He's convinced we have Gorse, and we're gonna do everything we can to encourage that notion. Discarding the Titanial probably doesn't encourage it so much, but what can you do? Really is a pretty fine spot. you know, we're just kind of like one card away from having the absolute nuts. There's Light and Darkness Dragon. That's really bad for us. That's really, really bad for us. So we're probably going to lose this game 1 here. Man, we're out of Book of Moon already too. There is just... not a lot we can do here. Mirror Force. We'll live one more turn. We'll live one more turn. Oh, man. I dropped a water bottle. You guys, sorry about that. It was a crazy noise. All right, you got this one, dog. No big deal. No big deal. We'll just go next. Okay, so I want this, I certainly want that. I don't want this. Mirror Force seems not good. Let's see, what else, I know this is the Messenger of Peace video, but Messenger of Peace does not seem great against frogs. It does DD Crow, I don't know. You have Kaya's in your deck. Let's do Return. It seems good. All right. Nothing wrong with that last game. You know, sometimes you just don't open a combo like that. This, on the other hand, is fantastic. It's gonna HA right away. Pick up Supervise. And we'll just pass. And folks, this is really what you want to see. I mean, what do? You know, we have Lightning Vortex to stop anything. Alright, we'll Gold Sark. Or I guess you can Gold Sark for Lone Fire here. Because if he's just going to be setting, maybe he's not going to commit anything. We could be in trouble. Alright, there goes not Lone Fire. The other one. Substitute. Alright, he's got a lot coming at us here. I don't know if the like Monarch build is really playing like yeah, so no Death Frogs or anything to worry about. That's good. And so now I assume he's going for a big dupe lock with a flip-flop frog as well. Seems pretty good. That seems pretty good. Oh, no flip-flop frog. We're just bouncing. Okay. Alright. I'm trying to think if we have a way to... I mean, like, obviously we need to start our combo with Lightning Vortex. Can we justify waiting a turn to just get the Lone Fire? No, I don't think we can. Alright. That's fine. We'll just begrudgingly go ahead and start the combo. Start the combo session. Go SSN for Lone Fire. Got the one Lone Fire banished already, which is annoying, but what do you do? We'll go Supervise. We don't lose to DD Crow here because we have the second SSN, should we need it. But I'm not seeing a Crow. Alright, so here we go. Lone Fire. Oh, sorry. Into Poppy Plant. Then we'll Synchro for Power Tool. Get off Supervise. Bring back Gigaplant. Use Power Tool. Go for Supervise and DDR. And DDR, let's see what we get. We got DDR, that's pretty good. Okay, I need to make sure I don't mess this up. I think here it's Supervise, Summon, no, it's DDR first. Summon Lone Fire. Lone Fire effect. Tribute token. For Copy Plant. Sync 4. Armory Arm. Armory Arm goes on Power Tool Dragon. And then it's equip Gigaplant with Supervise, Gigaplant effect, summon, Lone Fire effect, summon Nettles, Synchro Summon. We don't do Red Dragon here. Just do Brute Drago. Like, we're probably getting Battle Fated, but this line plays through Gores. That's the idea, right? And there you have it. Look at that. Yep. Yep, that's fine. This is still very good. This is still very, very good. We have Book of Moon, which is absolutely fantastic. Heavy Storm. Super annoying. Super annoying. And he still scoops. Great. We're going second, but it's frogs. Like, does Shoot Judgment still seem pretty good? Okay, this is not as good of a hand as game 2, but not as bad of a hand as game 1. And look at that, it just keeps getting better. We'll pass again. All 3 games, opening hand. Draw to 6, pass. Star Blast. Star Blast to just pay 2,000, put a lad on field. That's kind of crazy. I mean, it's working, you know, but it's kind of crazy. Okay. We'll just set Copy Plant and pass. We can bring it back with Furt once we find a way to turn off the lad. Oh, jeez. Very frustrating. Very frustrating to have to deal with a lad at a time like this. It's really fine though. We just have to draw Book of Moon or Chalice. Lightning Vortex is not helpful. Is there a world where we use 1 LV right now just to bump lad down to 23? What do you guys think? That seemed like it seems so costly. It feels so terrible. No, I'll just set the LV. Maybe we could do that later. Oh, look at me typing 23. Wishful thinking. Okay. Hidden armory. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. But we have to discard too many things. You know, we could mill Dandy, and that would do it. Hidden armory. We did not mill Dandy. Okay. 1. Man, we need one more card. We need one more card, and we could just play right through the lad. But, man. Alright. 2. Now you're at 18. But normal summon swap frog we lose to. So do I have to LV one more time? I really don't want to do that. Guys, I really don't want to do that. Or we can furt. We can furt. I'll do that. Alright, 1300. Now we don't lose to normal summon swap frog. It's so terrible. Okay, he's just swinging. We're so back, you guys. We're so back. We are so unbelievable. We've never been so back ever before in our entire lives. Wow. Lightning Vortex. That deals with lad. Bert. Copy plant. DD Crow is GG. Okay. Let's see, where was our... Guys, where's our lad outs? We have 3 of them. There, okay, finally there's a chalice. That's not good. Well, you know what the problem was, is we didn't draw Messenger of Peace. If we'd drawn Messenger of Peace, that would have been an entirely different match. What could I say? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Give Messenger of Peace a try. Let me know. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave a message in the comments if you think I misplayed, if you think my deck sucks, if you think my deck is great, if you're excited for the weekend. Smash that friggin' like button. Of course, smash that friggin' like button. And I will see you guys tomorrow with some more shameless hype beast Gigavise content. Take care, everyone.